Kevin, out of the room.
Hang up the phone and make me, why don't you?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the movies that nearly everyone loves. And heads up, we won't be including animated films, as those deserve their own list.
He didn't fall? Inconceivable.
Number 25, The Big Lebowski.
That rug really tied the room together, did it not?
Hating this movie takes more effort than the dude puts into anything. Practically every scene of The Big Lebowski is packed with quotable lines of dialogue and memorable over-the-top side characters. Despite how bizarre and hilarious most of it is, The Big Lebowski is really just a chill hangout movie that we all adore more than Walter loves talking about Vietnam.
In your wisdom, Lord, you took him. As you took so many bright, flowering young men at Khe Sanh, at Londoc, at Hill 364.
The film has become a literal cult classic, as in, they made a religion out of it. And people don't create entire religions around movies they hate.
Yeah, well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Number 24, Field of Dreams. Given how tied this movie is to baseball, we can see just how you might think that some people could dislike it. But even if you prefer another sport, or don't like sports at all, Field of Dreams still stirs something in everyone.
Stick it in your ear, Gandil. Yeah, Gandil. If you'd have run like that against Detroit, I'd have won 20 games that year.
For Pete's sakes, Ciccone, that was 68 years ago. Give it up, will you?
The story of a man who builds a baseball diamond in his cornfield, attracting the ghosts of baseball legends, feels super specific. And yet, it touches on so many universal themes: following your dreams, trusting yourself and others, fatherhood, nostalgia, and the joy in a game. It's practically a dream come true.
This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray.
Number 23, Top Gun Maverick.
You were a Top Gun instructor before.
That was almost 30 years ago. I lasted 2 months. It's not where I belong.
Doing a sequel decades after the original usually ends in disaster, let's be honest, but everyone was pleasantly surprised by how great Top Gun Maverick is. As usual, Maverick pushes his luck once too often, and has to teach a group of cocky young pilots how to run a seemingly impossible mission.
Today we'll start with what you only think you know. Show me what you're made of.
Tom Cruise delivers a great performance, and the supporting cast are excellent too. The aerial action sequences are basically unmatched.
Hands up, Phoenix!
Top Gun Maverick surpasses its predecessor in nearly every way, with the exception of Goose, and it's just a fun blockbuster all around.
Don't think, just do it.
Number 22, Forrest Gump.
I gotta pee.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
Much like its kind-hearted and simple protagonist, it's impossible for anyone to hate the film that bears his name. Forrest Gump tells the title character's life story, detailing his unexpected involvement in many pivotal moments in 20th century American history.
I understand you were wounded. Where were you hit?
In the buttocks, sir.
Oh, that must be a sight.
While knowledge of the events in question certainly adds a level of humour, at its core, the movie can be enjoyed by anyone. It's loaded with iconic quotes, carried by a lovable hero, and rife with whimsy and heart. You could even say you never know what you're gonna get out of it.
My mom always said life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Number 21, The Breakfast Club.
Son? Yeah, Dad? How's your day, pal?
1980s teen movies are a dime a dozen, but few are as universally beloved as The Breakfast Club.
How come Andrew gets to get up? That's right. If he gets up, we'll all get up. It'll be anarchy.
The film follows a group of 5 teenagers in detention. Their clash of personalities and assumptions about each other gradually gives way to understanding, the beginnings of friendship, and more.
Did it for my old man. I tortured this poor kid because I wanted him to think that I was cool.
While there are a ton of great moments that have left their mark on pop culture, the central theme of family expectations is one almost anyone can relate to. Not only is The Breakfast Club impossible to dislike, it's also impossible to forget.
Don't
Number 20. Ghostbusters. Here they are, the guys you call when there's something strange in your neighborhood. Starring comedy geniuses Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and Harold Ramis, this 80s supernatural comedy of oddball ghost hunters made us look at ghouls and monsters in a whole new, more comical light.
Get her!
With its marvellous blend of exceptional storytelling, stunning visuals, quirky characters, and unforgettable dialogue such as this,
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
it's truly no wonder that the film has been consistently considered one of the most original, unique, and hilarious takes on its genre. After a highly demanded re-release only 1 year after its initial theatrical run, Ghostbusters went on to become the most financially successful comedy of the decade.
We have the tools, we have the talent. It's Miller time.
Number 19. Jurassic Park. Cinema is rife with creature features, but there's something special about Jurassic Park. Clone dinosaurs escaping their enclosure and running amok feels like a simple premise, but the film executes it absolutely flawlessly. The ensemble are lovable, and feel more three-dimensional than most disaster movie characters. The themes, such as humankind's reach often exceeding its grasp, remain timely. The special effects were groundbreaking, yet still somehow hold up today. Jurassic Park captures the majesty and wonder in not just dinosaurs, but nature in general. But its enduring reputation is hardly surprising. This is Steven Spielberg at the height of his powers. Number 18. Die Hard.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
While a few Grinches may dispute whether or not it's a Christmas movie, it is by the way, nobody's disputing whether Die Hard is a great movie. One of the all-time classic action films, Die Hard popularized the one cop against a ton of bad guys in a single location plot.
Welcome to the party, pal!
And while others have followed in its wake, it remains the best. The one-liners are iconic, the set pieces are action-packed, the characters are rich and complex.
Who said we were terrorists?
Die Hard is like action movie comfort viewing. We'd all jump at the chance to watch it again faster than you can say yippee-ki-yay.
Happy trails, Hans.
Number 17. Airplane.
By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
There are spoof movies, and then there's Airplane. Although broadly a parody of airport disaster films, Airplane can be, and is, enjoyed by basically everyone. The sheer number of jokes per minute is astonishing, as is the variety, with everything from pop culture references to wordplay to slapstick comedy being thrown at the screen in rapid succession.
Excuse me, sir. There's been a little problem in the cockpit.
The cockpit? What is it?
It's the little room in the front of the plane where the pilots sit. That's not important right now.
While not every joke lands well, or has aged well, Airplane is still one of the funniest and most popular comedy films ever made for good reason. Surely you'll find plenty to laugh at, whether you're called Shirley or not.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Number 16. Terminator 2. Judgment Day. A high-water mark for not only its franchise, but also for movie sequels in general, Terminator 2 Judgment Day is bigger and better than its predecessor in just about every way.
Get down.
A battle between killer robots from the future over the fate of humanity results in some of the most iconic action scenes of all time. And sure, T2 has all the expected one-liners of an Arnold Schwarzenegger flick, but it also has some unexpected depth and heart to it.
Okay, that's good, Up high. 5 low. Too slow. No, I'm just kidding.
And that helps make its reputation basically untouchable among action aficionados and casual fans alike. Number 15. Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller. 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 Bueller.
No list of impossible to hate films would be complete without this one. Starring Matthew Broderick as the titular teen, Ferris Bueller's Day Off shadows a trio of high school seniors playing hooky in the streets of Chicago, all while comically evading their pursuing dean, parents, and siblings. Superbly capturing the free and smart alecky spirit of youth, this is a movie that all our teenage selves can relate to, regardless of whether or not we were bold enough to take our own days off.
A, you can never go too far. B, if I'm gonna get busted, it is not gonna be by a guy like that.
Timelessly funny and accessible, this classic comedy is unquestionably every adolescent and adolescent at heart's movie textbook.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Number 14, Paddington II.
Paddington! What are you doing here?
For a time, the highest rated film on internet review site Rotten Tomatoes was Paddington II. Now, that might seem strange when there are so many acclaimed masterpieces to choose from, but Paddington II, much like the whimsical bear its title refers to, is just impossible to dislike. It is just so charming and wholesome. Its cast is a who's who of great British actors, even in minor roles. It's beautifully shot and experiments with different mediums. Paddington 2 even has action set pieces, like prison escapes and train chases. Seriously, what is not to love?
I'd say you've rather a lot to be proud of.
Number 13, Goodfellas.
Hi, Mom, what do you think? Look at my shoes, aren't they great?
My God, you look like a gangster.
Here's the film that had everyone cheering for the bad guys. One of Martin Scorsese's greatest masterpieces, Goodfellas captivated moviegoers by providing them a bloody, at times comical, and overall powerful in-depth peek at life in the mob.
Well, I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh.
Inspired by true events, the film recounts gangster Henry Hill's 3 decades-long involvement, detailing numerous major felonies, including the Lufthansa heist, the largest American robbery at the time.
The FBI says $2 million. Port Authority police say $4 million. The city cops say 5. Lufthansa said
Putting less emphasis on narrative, Goodfellas' core shines with its strangely relatable characters, exquisite performances, and catchy dialogue. In other words, a perfect stage-worthy drama made for the silver screen. Number 12, When Harry Met Sally.
Men and women can't be friends because the sex part always gets in the way.
There are a lot of rom-coms out there, but there's only one Harry Met Sally. The naturalistic dialogue, charismatic leads, and great supporting cast all help create one of the gold standards for romantic comedies.
Heather, with isinglass curtains that will What? It's my voice, isn't it? I hate my voice.
The story of the two title characters' friendship/romance has been influential not only on the rom-coms that followed, but also on the terminology of relationships. Concepts like high maintenance can trace their origins here.
Which one am I?
You're the worst kind. You're high maintenance, but you think you're low maintenance.
Much like The Old Woman in Cat's Deli, this movie should have everyone curious about what they're missing out on.
I'll have what she's having.
Number 11, The Godfather Part 2.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart.
Making a sequel or prequel that's as good as the original is impressive enough. But The Godfather Part 2 is one of the few that may surpass its predecessor. And it even manages to be both a prequel and a sequel at the same time.
Vito Andolini from Corleone.
Vito Corleone.
The film details the parallel stories of Vito Corleone's rise in the past and his son Michael's descent into darkness in the present. The contrasting narratives, iconic scenes, powerful performances, and gripping story all create an unforgettable film.
He acts like I'm his son, his successor. But he thinks he's gonna live forever. He wants me out.
Even if you prefer the original, there's no denying the quality of Part 2.
No, è mio piacere, niente sordo. È un regalo questo. Prego.
Number 10, Home Alone.
This house is so full of people, it makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone.
Given that it's basically Die Hard for children, it's no surprise that everyone loves Home Alone. However, it's much more than a more family-friendly version of another film. Home Alone follows Kevin McAllister defending his house from two bumbling burglars after being left behind by his family.
Where are you little creep?
The holly jolly atmosphere and heartwarming moments have made it a staple of holiday viewing for many. Perhaps it's that familiarity that has helped make this movie feel as much a part of the holiday season as trees and lights.
Merry Christmas, little fella. We know that you're in there, and that you're all alone.
But whether it's part of your annual tradition or not, Home Alone leaves nearly everyone thirsty for more.
You guys give up, or you're thirsty for more?
Number 9. Jaws. Yeah, we know. Fake shark, right? But despite what anyone says about that animatronic great white, there's no denying the brilliance of its immortalized terror tale on the town of Amity.
Look, we depend on the summer people here for our very lives.
You are not going to have a summer unless you deal with this problem. We're not only going to have to close the beach, we're going to have to hire somebody to kill the shark.
As the first major release that paved the way for Steven Spielberg to become one of Hollywood's most successful directors, Jaws was the frenzy-inducing nightmare of a film that sailors, surfers, and beachgoers everywhere hated to love.
You know the thing about a shark, he's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Beautifully paced, shot, and edited, it's one of the few movies in the world that most will have trouble finding genuine criticism for. Also, who can forget that absolutely perfect musical tie-in? Number 8. The Shawshank Redemption.
30 years. Jesus, when you say it like that. You wonder where it went?
Fear can hold you prisoner, hope can set you free. The most fitting tagline for a movie, if ever there was one. Based on a novella by Stephen King, The Shawshank Redemption is the 20-year-long narrative of a man wrongly convicted for the murder of his wife and the inmate he develops a strong bond with.
Why'd you do it?
I didn't, since you asked.
You can fit right in. Everybody in here is innocent. Did you know that?
Despite disappointing box office receipts, Red and Andy's lifelong story was far from underwhelming for those who have been bold enough to brave it.
I guess it comes down to a simple choice, really. Get busy living, you get busy dying.
Garnering universal praise for its dramatic story, astonishing atmosphere, and inspirational performances, the drama has been heralded as one of the greatest films of all time, and it's not hard to see why.
Get him out of here.
Come on, it's my chance to get out. Don't you see that? It's my life. Don't you understand? It's my life.
Get him out. Get him out.
Number 7. Singing in the Rain.
I'm singing in the rain.
Perhaps the quintessential movie musical, Singing in the Rain depicts the transition between silent films and those with sound. Light-hearted and boundlessly entertaining, the movie features some of the most famous musical numbers ever put on screen. Even if you've never seen the film, you know these songs. Its spectacular cast all have marvellous chemistry together, and the amount of love for the film and the art of filmmaking positively leaps off the screen.
Say good morning. Good morning to you.
Might be just as zippy if we was in Mississippi.
And even if Singing in the Rain doesn't drive you to belt show tunes in a storm, it still leaves everyone anything but low.
Rose is a rose. A toes is a toes. Hoop-de-doodle-doodle. Moses supposes his toes are roses.
Number 6. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
After taking us on several hyperspace jumps on the Millennium Falcon, Lucasfilm and Harrison Ford, along with director Steven Spielberg, decided to bring us back to a long time ago, well, 1930s Earth. An action-packed adventure flick that introduced us to everyone's favourite archaeologist, Raiders of the Lost Ark was an uber success with audiences and critics during its theatre run, bringing home 4 of its 9 Oscar nominations, plus a Special Achievement Award.
Don't look right. Keep your eyes shut.
It's considered by many to be the quintessential film of its genre, as well as one of the greatest movies ever made, with the iconic and adventure-appropriate music merely being the cherry on top. Number 5. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Who are you? We are the knights who say
No, not the knights who say nee.
The same!
To hate Monty Python is basically to hate comedy for the last half a century. The troupe's influence on humour has reverberated throughout pop culture to an incredible degree, and Holy Grail is among their most popular creations.
You've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look! Just a flesh wound.
While nominally about King Arthur and his knight's quest for the Holy Grail, the movie really revolves around its creator's hilarious stream of consciousness approach to comedy.
She's made of wood, and therefore... a witch! A witch!
Each silly scene flows beautifully from one to the next. Practically every line is iconic and hysterical in its own right. Hating Monty Python and the Holy Grail? You might as well try to cut down the mightiest tree in the forest with a herring.
You silly sod! Oh, you got us all worked up!
Number 4. The Wizard of Oz.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too!
Starring the vocally inspiring Judy Garland, Dorothy Gale's wondrous journey down the Yellow Brick Road has enchanted millions for decades, many of whom were happy to make it television's most viewed syndicated feature.
Now fly! Fly!
Noted for its fantasy aesthetics, bizarre and vivid characters, easy to follow narrative, and of course its timeless music, this child-friendly acid trip stands as one of pop culture's most memorable and quotable masterworks.
Here, Scarecrow! Wanna play ball?
As one of the first films to be preserved by the US National Film Registry, it's clear that Oz has found a place in the hearts of numerous generations, continually reminding us that there is no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
Number 3. Star Wars Episode 5: The Empire Strikes Back. While all Star Wars fans will have a special place in their hearts for the original 1977 masterpiece, its majestic follow-up wears the crown as the saga's most loved segment.
Feeling alright, sir?
Just like new, Dak. How about you?
Right now I feel like I can take on the whole Empire myself.
I know what you mean.
As a heart-racing sequel that amped up the effects and narrative, The Empire Strikes Back beautifully expanded the immensity of George Lucas's galaxy far, far away, loaded with many of cinema's most triumphant scenes, including the ever-alluring Battle of Hoth, Luke's Jedi training with Master Yoda, and, oh yeah, the biggest twist in movie history. There's no denying that the Force is strong with... Alright, we'll stop using that line. Maybe.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Number 2. The Princess Bride.
Don't even think.
Don't even think about trying to escape.
Some movies are just so lovable because they have a little bit of everything, and The Princess Bride has it all. Romance, comedy, action, you name it, this film's got it. Though it didn't make much of a bang at the box office, The Princess Bride has become the ultimate comfort movie for millions of fans. Every line of dialogue is quotable, the performances and chemistry from the cast are immaculate, and it has one of the greatest sword fights in movie history.
Why are you smiling? Because I know something you don't know. And what is that? I am not left-handed.
The Princess Bride is as true a love as many of us could wish for, and we're prepared to die on this hill.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Back to the Future.
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think, McFly, think.
Here's a bizarre question for the ages. How awkward would it be to meet and mingle with your teenage parents? Heavy, isn't it? Well, in Back to the Future, that's precisely the pickle that Marty McFly finds himself in when he inadvertently travels 30 years into the past. Filled with well-crafted four-dimensional characters, historical gags and awkward moments after awkward moments, this film is precious sci-fi comedy gold.
My name is Darth Vader. I am an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan.
Top it off with Hollywood's most recognised movie car, and perhaps the most stylish time machine ever put on film, and you've got arguably the best time travel movie in history.
Whoa, Biff. What's that?
So, which movie do you think is impossible to hate? Let us know in the comments.
Tell me you got that.
I got it.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.